Welcome back to Studio F. We're on Fast Times Willie B. We'll be stepping back to 1989 and reviewing Heathers. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell!
Welcome back to Fast Times Willie B. I'm Willie B. I've got Rosie with me. Rosie, how we doing?
Very good. Glad to be back. It's been a minute.
So today we'll be stepping back to 1989 and reviewing this week's poll winner, which was Heathers. And director-wise, we got Michael Lehman. Cast-wise, we've got Beetlejuice Reunion. No, we've got Winona Ryder.
All my favorites.
We've got Christian Slater. We've got Shannon Doherty. Rest in peace to a queen. But we'll start with the good. And the first thing that really captured me in this movie, because I wasn't sure how I was really feeling about it when I was watching it in the first act, but one thing I was sure of is I liked the style, the camera work, the color grading, especially in the Remington University party, the blues and the reds. So when I was trying to figure out how I felt about where we're going with this story, the one thing I was sure of is I love the style of this movie. It feels 80s, which obviously I'm a fan of that. But I liked the direction, I guess you could say, and what they were going for there. And throughout the movie, that remained consistent.
Yeah, this is a new watch for me, so I had no idea what to expect. The only thing that kept playing in my head was there's a little, I don't know, it's obviously not in the movie, but it's I don't know, there's a little jingle. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
This is a musical.
That's what it is. I didn't know that.
So you probably have heard.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's what
it was made into a musical.
Yeah, it was playing in my head the whole time.
Okay.
But I was expecting to like this because it's kind of coming of age, I guess. It's one of my favorite genres. I definitely enjoyed the vibe. If you know me, you know I love Winona Ryder. So I love...
She was great.
She had the same Lydia vibe from Beetlejuice. My favorite is when she kept saying "Dear Diary."
Yeah.
Because she writes the letters in Beetlejuice. I was like,
Those were probably my favorite scenes. I loved how the party kept cutting back and forth between the party and her doing the Dear Diary.
I 100% agree.
But I honestly ended up liking the story and what they were going for too, in the sense that you've got Veronica, played by Winona Ryder, and JD, who is Christian Slater, kind of falling in love with each other. JD helps her realize that she doesn't like her friends, and which her diary already knows. And so they kill off the first Heather Chandler, make it look like a suicide because she has this power to match anybody's handwriting. And it makes Heather Chandler more popular. And then from there, she kind of gets defamed through word of mouth by these two guys. So JD comes with this idea, tells her they're fake, becomes real death. And from there, JD, you can tell, is starting to fall in love with killing the cool people. And Winona Ryder's torn because she feels like she wants to do that with the next Heather, but at the same time, she knows it's wrong. And so, I don't know, it's a cool story because it's a battle of wants versus what's right. And you have JD, who's almost this red devil on her shoulder the whole movie, and she does love him. I think it has a good ending, how she fakes her suicide and he spills the beans on his story, so she's able to stop him. I think it's a good ending, and then she's the good person at the end. She takes the headband and goes over to dump truck and asks her to have a fun night instead of going to prom. It's a movie that me and Ashley at work were talking about this. She's a huge Heathers fan.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but not a movie that could be made today.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I feel like as we've been reviewing these movies through the years, you kind of get to see the same with TV shows. They just can't be remade today just because everything,
the scene where he pulls out the guns in school, even though they are blanks,
was kind of I think I even gasped watching that because I was because that still you don't see that in movies.
Oh, for sure.
As being a first time watcher, this I had zero idea what to expect. I didn't even know Winona Ryder was in it, and she's one of my favorites. I don't know.
Yeah. You also liked when I told you Otho was the priest.
Oh, and he
was great.
So good.
The funeral scenes were... It's weird to say this, but the funeral scenes were pretty funny.
Yeah, and he has the same vibe as Otho from Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
1,000%. I wasn't watching at that very second I heard his voice, and I was like... But I wasn't sure what to expect. So I had no idea I had no clue what was going on. The whole, I didn't even, if you asked me, yesterday what this was, I had no clue. So, it was definitely an interesting concept. Definitely would not see it be remade. Maybe a little bit more.
No shot.
Lightheartedly, maybe. But definitely not. So I think this is, and I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other movies that have been made with this same concept. So it was interesting.
Yeah. No, I liked it a good bit. Like I said, I liked the style of it. I thought the acting was great. You kind of know what you're going to get from these actors, especially in the 80s. I also really like the music. We get some commercialized tunes that are good, but the score is also really good. It's I think considered a comedy crime movie. I don't know. It kind of can fall into any genre if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But some of the scores are intense. Like some of the score is intense and eerie, and I liked it a lot. It was a very good score, and then obviously soundtrack. Like one that stuck out to me is when we get Que Sera, because that was one of the songs me and Maddie listened to with Gammy and Papa. So you get the When I Was Just a Little Girl. So that was cool. But like I said, it was a movie that just it had the vibe. It had a good style. A modern movie I'd almost compare it to is Lisa Frankenstein.
You know what? In one of the Heathers, I was like, if she doesn't look I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. They have the same vibe.
But it's like JD is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Winona's Lisa, except for Winona doesn't get a feel for it like Lisa does. But it has that same vibe where it's a couple pair up and take down some students. Yeah. I guess you could say it kind of.
Yeah.
But it's less
interesting.
Guns in school and more so supernatural.
Yeah. So I didn't think about
that's
that
the route you have to go if you're gonna something like that.
I didn't think about that until just right now. I agree. It was giving, and I think because Lisa Frankenstein is kind of giving 80s.
Yeah.
And this is actually made in the 80s, So.
Yeah.
A little bit more in the time, but I agree 100%.
I'd also put costume in the good.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah.
100%.
And set design.
I love
their
outfits.
I love the style of this movie. It was easy to watch in that sense.
Their outfits were so good, and I love I always like with Mean Girls and Clueless, the popular girls' outfits.
Yeah.
It's cool to see them if you compare this movie, which would probably be pretty comparable to Clueless and Mean Girls, just seeing their different costumes or outfits, and then I liked how they looked over to the nerds at the table and seeing everybody else's, and the football players always in the Letterman's jackets.
Yeah. And
the cheerleaders always in their cheerleading uniforms. So it's cool.
That was a fun one too, how they set up the football players, and he's with the mineral water, and when the cops get there, they're like, "Look, right?" I thought that definitely the comedy was definitely in the good.
Yeah,
it had me laughing.
That scene would not work today either.
No, definitely wouldn't. But it was funny.
Yeah,
that's what they're going for. They're just trying to be funny. So I definitely had a good time watching this. Something that's been on my watch list for a while, and I just haven't gotten to, and can say I'm glad I did.
Yeah. I feel like I remember my friends talking about it growing up. But I don't know. It just never. Yeah. It just never came about.
This is something that I felt like you would have seen before this.
Yeah.
Because it's Winona Ryder, so
right.
But.
Yeah, I had no clue at all.
Yeah.
I've heard of the movie, but like I said, I could not tell you what it was about or anything. So.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else on the good?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'll hop over to the meh. I don't have anything in the bad.
Okay.
I do have a couple things that are in the meh. The first one being the handwriting thing. It's a cool connector and a cool concept, but it's kind of a weird random flex. Like,
Yeah.
that you can just
for
imitate handwritings.
For this movie, it worked.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine it like working in any other with any other idea.
Yeah.
So like the writing the suicide notes, that's like about the only thing that having that talent, I guess, would be useful for. So it's well played, but I feel like it kind of goes along with being in high school. Because I definitely remember trying to forge my mom's signatures.
That's fair.
On things growing up, so I think it's kind of cool to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't really good at it, but if I try to do it now, I bet you I'd probably be pretty good.
The other thing I'd put in the meh is more of a nitpick. JD has way too much free reign on his dad's guns and pyrotechnics.
We'll come back to that. That is my one thing in the bad is their relationship. Okay. So we'll jump back.
I'm just like, man, he seems like a troubled kid, and you're just letting this guy have free reign at whatever he wants.
Yeah,
yeah. That's really it for me in the complaint department. I don't have a lot of complaints, but we can hop over to the bad.
Okay.
If you have something.
I do. I don't know even how to put it into words. Their relationship was so confusing to me.
He didn't like the, hey, son. Hi, Dad.
I don't know, because in the one scene where he's, like, putting the bomb together, he is, like, calling, I don't know, he's, like, his dad is his son.
Yeah.
Like, is how they were talking. And his dad, like, ran some sort of company, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Or his family did. So I was just confused, like, I feel like his dad probably needed to be in some of those scenes, but, like, their relationship was confusing. Okay. And I know it's kind of nitpicky, but every time, like, they were together, I was like, it's kind of cringe. I don't know. I was like,
yeah. That's fair. That's fair. It didn't bother me too much. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, I don't know.
Anything else from
Not for me. I don't think so.
Okay. Now over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with, Heather's, and what do you give it out of 10?
I really enjoyed it. I would like to do another rewatch. This week has been incredibly busy. Mm-hmm. So I would like to actually be able to, and I watched it on my iPad because I'm an iPad girl. So I'd actually like to like sit down and watch it maybe on like the VHS, for more aesthetic vibe and actually like feel more like deep dive into it. But as a first watch, I was unsure of what to expect. So this was an interesting one. I feel like I would have more to say with another watch just because it was all very brand new to me. Mm-hmm. Acting, great. Costumes, great. Set design, the vibe, stellar. All of my favorite things. So there's really not much to not like. I was a little confused here and there throughout, but that's just me. I don't know.
For sure.
So I am gonna score it pretty high. I mean, I only had one very nitpicky thing in the bad. Yeah. So we can't go too low. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
I agree with you. I'm going 8 out of 10 as well.
That's rare.
I had a good time with it. I thought it was a fun 80s crime comedy flick. I enjoyed the cast that we get. I enjoyed the concept, the story, and the style most of all. It was a good time. Glad I finally got to watch it, like I said before. And definitely something I'd revisit. Definitely rewatchable for sure. But yeah. That'll do it for Heather's. Rosie, thank you for coming on. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. And don't forget to vote this Wednesday as we hop into the 90s with our 1990 poll. So be sure to pick which movie you'd like to see reviewed next. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Peace and love.